Kowalski here from Spinning Magazine with a new edition of Chart Watch. This is episode 27. Now, for those of you who've just tuned in for the first time, this weekly show, which is dedicated to music fans who love buying physical records, CDs, cassettes, whatever it is, this show is for you. There are basically three segments. The first one, I just look at the number one album in the UK, look at the amount of sales, split it down between CD and vinyl and cassette, just out of interest, see what's going on. Part 2, or Section 2, looks at new releases that have caught my eye in the last 7 days. And then Part 3 is Music Biz Chat, where I talk about my personal feelings about what I think is going on and what could be better, or how things are going within the world of physical media. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about polylined inner sleeves for vinyl records, because I do feel there is a potential issue building here. I review loads of CDs on this channel and lots of vinyl records, and I'm getting more and more comments coming in via email, via the website, by social media, by the comments here, of people buying stuff and getting lots of crackles and pops and getting a bit miffed about sometimes the quality of vinyl pressings. And I can only go from my own personal experience here, but I think some of it has got something to do with the inner sleeves that are currently used in many pressings. But I'm going to come to that, as I say, at the end, towards the end of this video in part 3. So part 1, quickly, is just looking at the UK album charts and what made number 1. And number 1 this week is the Gorillaz and the album Cracker Island on the Parlophone label. The Gorillaz, which is Damien Albarn's virtual band, because his day job is Blur. This is the 8th album and it's gone straight at number 1. Total sales are 22,440. Of that, physical sales were 17,876. So predominantly physical sales have got this album there, and the marketing behind this, drip feeding different formats and versions throughout the week, has been absolutely phenomenal. Now, in the last few weeks, CD sales have trumped vinyl by sometimes 4-1, but this time it's the other way around, with probably 2-1. The number of CDs sold for this release were 4,895, and for vinyl it was 11,449. So well done. So this time vinyl propelled this album to number 1. There were also 268 7-inch vinyl albums, 1,264 cassettes, 1,232 digital downloads, and 3,332 sales equivalent streams. Adam Lambert, the Queen singer, has also gone straight into the charts at number 5 with 7,854. And just finally, physical sales this week I think are worth around 14.2%, which, as I say every week, we are a niche, but my God, we are a gorgeous niche, those of us that buy physical music. Okay, so what is on my new release list? Coming across my radar, which I thought was quite interesting, was Hugh Hopper of the Soft Machine, with a re-release of Jazz Loops and the Stolen Hour. This features many of Soft Machine's band members as well. Hugh was a key member of Soft Machine and an accomplished solo artist, and sadly passed away in 2009. His legacy is now being celebrated with the release of 2 of his solo albums, which have been very hard to find. So Jazz Loops, Stolen Hour feature Soft Machine members guesting throughout, including Robert Wyatt, Elton Dean, John Marshall, and other guests include Gong Alumni, Didier Marabi, and French guitarist Patrice Meyer. And this double disc is remastered and includes a booklet endorsed by Christine Janet Hopper, who is Hugh Hopper's wife, and she also plays trumpet on some of the recordings. So if you're into jazz rock, that looks very good. We also have, the headline here says, the first ever vinyl pressing of, first time on vinyl, still finding it very difficult to get used to that, is UFO's 14th studio album, Walk on Water. Now this is an absolutely fantastic record album. I've got this on CD, and the only thing that let it down was the re-recording in 1995 new versions of Lights Out, etc. There's no need to do that, really. I'm sure they must have had something in their back pocket to do that. But the original tracks, things like Self-Made Man, Push the Limit, Push the Limit, Push the Limit. It's one of Schenker's, like, you could say a bit of a throwaway riff, but it's not throwaway because it's like awesome. Push the Limit is one of the best, my favourite UFO songs of all time. It's absolutely brilliant, brilliant on MT. It's great. I have not seen this myself, but it's quite expensive. But according to the press release, it says it's revamped with eye-popping graphics and photos. We'll have to wait and see. Also, Alan Parsons' project, The Turn of a Friendly Hand. I can actually physically show you that because I will be reviewing that on this channel. I have a copy right here, and that is very good. Beverly Craven, The Memories, a complete epic recording from 1990 to 1999 on Cherry Red. That looks good as well. And if you get in early, you also get a exclusive signed postcard with all pre-orders, which is very good. Then we have Rush and Signals, which is a super deluxe edition. I don't know how much this is going to be, but it's going to be, the album was cut for the first time at half speed, and 180 gram black vinyl, optimal vinyl quality, etc. Blu-ray audio disc features an immersive Dolby Atmos 5.1 mix. Dolby Atmos will be the #1 format for 2023, which is what obviously the people behind the Pink Floyd 50th anniversary edition are hoping we'll all spend 250 quid on. Make it separate. So this also comes with lots of music videos, bonus items, etc. 24-inch poster to put on our bedroom walls, and absolutely tons of stuff. The other things that have got my eyes are Illusion. Everywhere You Go on Edsel Records, are part of the Demon Music Group. This is about 50 quid, I think, £45. And this coming together after the tragic death of Keith Relf in 1976. Illusion were formed by the 4 surviving original members of Renaissance: Jim McCarty, John Houan, Jane Relf, and Louis Sanamo is that. And during their initial years, Illusion released 2 albums on Island Records, Out of the Mist in 1977 and Illusion in 1978. And this new 4 CD collection gathers together the 2 original albums and the lost 3rd album called Enchanted Caress, and the reunion album Through the Fire from 2001. That looks like a great set. I haven't got an image to show you, but it looks really, really good. It really does. Other things heading in bound are from Cherry Red, Foghat, Road Fever, the first 5 albums, plus a 6th disc of single edits. Also, I've got this from Craft Recordings, which I'm going to show you as well. And this is Jazz Impressions of Black Orpheus by the Vince Guardiol Trio. And this is for jazz fans. I said I was going to feature more jazz, and this is brilliant. It really, really is. I'll actually just get that in the box a second. It's an absolutely fantastic pressing, but I'll go into more detail in a moment on this. And then finally, for my new release schedule, which I'll be reviewing, is Hawkwind, The Days of the Underground, which is an 8 CD, 2 Blu-ray box set from the years 1977 to 1979. Now, a lot of you have asked about this, wanted to know what it looked like before you pulled the trigger. I'll be reviewing this. It will go out to patrons first, but it will be going out to everybody towards the end of next week. But I'm so enjoying that. I really, really am. So that's my new releases. So part 3. Vinyl. All you record companies watching this, PR agencies, pressing plants and everything else. I think we could have an issue. I personally have no problem with albums being 27 to 30 quid, 35 to some degree. Looking at the rate of inflation, what wages are like in the early 80s, it all makes sense. But it is a luxury item. It's not an impulse buy like buying a CD. See a CD for 10 quid, £12.99, I'll take a chance. I'm going to spend £30 if I'm in my late teens, 20s, well, even now, the age I am now. Am I going to buy that? Because I could buy 3 CDs for 30 quid, but 3 albums for 30 quid is nearly £100. I'm going to pause. So, let's look at this, shall we not? Bear with me here. I'm reviewing a lot of things on here, and I've had people commenting saying I bought the album you recommended and I've got it on the turntable and it's cracking and it's popping and all the rest of it. And then people have said, oh, I cleaned it and now it sounds fine. And I know a lot of us out there, a lot of older record collectors and buyers have record cleaning machines. Some of these are nearly £500 and you clean your records like a Chinese tea making ceremony. Before you put the album on, you clean it, you almost hang it with gloves, plonk it on, put your weight in the middle, then you clean it before you put it away. A lot of people don't do that, and when I grew up in the 70s, 80s and 90s, I just bought an album, stuck it in the record player, put the needle down and obviously boogied around my bedroom or my living room and loved it. Put it away, put it on again, put it away, put it on again, just played it. I didn't have to think, do I need to wash it? So this is an example of what works well. A polylined inner sleeve protects the record. But I'm seeing more and more of, got all these in the wrong order, sorry, please bear with me. And again, to any record companies watching this, I am not picking on your records in any particular order, it's just the way these are on my desk. This is the Ruts, which I reviewed recently, it's great. Proper Music, UMC. But the inner sleeve is just like hard card. It's stiff card, okay, and each time you take the record out, which is a very tight fit, can you hear that? Each time that goes in, it scrapes across the record. It's a very, very tight fit, and this is one of the ones where people have said it's covered. And what happens is you take the record out, and it's already got little bits of paper dust. Some of it's stuck within the grooves. And I could say, well, here's one, just to show you that it is completely random. This is Cherry Red, Purple Records imprint of Trapeze. This is superb, by the way. I will review this. Polylined sleeve. The pressing is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. This is also Cherry Red. This is Van de Graaff Generator. See how hard that is to get that sleeve? And so because of that, this paper inner sleeve is just how it feels on the outside is exactly the same quality what's on the inside, and it just scrapes across it, and the little bits of white dots. Of course, if there's splatter vinyl and colour, I probably wouldn't spot it, would I? But it's there. It's there. So it doesn't quite fit to go back in, which scrumples it up even more against the record. BMG, Black Sabbath. Similar thing, becoming creased because each time I take it out, and I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a while. And then as it comes out, not quite as tight as the other ones, but again, it's got little bits of white paper dust on. If I clean it using my record cleaning machine, all those disappear. But obviously what I'll need to do is buy polylined inner sleeves that fit better than that. Gary Moore, that's a similar thing, but coloured vinyl record, so you don't notice it as much. This is Opeth Nuclear Blast, polylined, fits so much easier, record slides out absolutely perfectly fine. This is also Proper Music, an album I'll be reviewing soon. This is Richard Thompson and stars Henry the Human Fly. This would appear to be just a paper sleeve, but actually on the inside it's polylined but without the hole, so it slides in and out really well without no scraping, just a soft sound, great pressing. And then the other end of the scale is Craft Recordings. All of their albums come in anti-static, archival quality, non-scratching inner sleeves like this. Okay, absolutely perfect. You can buy these separately. And then for Demon Music Group, even these with the inner sleeve that we used to see in the 80s are softer and silkier on the inside covers. Okay, so why is this a thing? On our Zoom meeting for the Now Spinning magazine private collectors group, we have a monthly chat on a virtual pub called the Now Spinning Arms, to be exact, and we talked about this. And of course, many of us are of a certain vintage, and we treat records with great respect. And some of us do clean our records on cleaning machines a lot. But the key thing is, for the record business now, you are aiming at all demographics. And in my local record shops, I'm seeing the shops full of people in their 20s. They are unlikely to own record cleaning machines, or even have the room to put one in their bedroom or in their mum and dad's living room, or whatever, or their bedsit, or wherever they are. These things take up room, and why would you need one? I just want to buy a record. This is the generation have come home and just press a button and the music plays. I mean, so I was like about the ritual of putting a record on, okay, all the rest of it. We just want it to play. And if you're going to sell something, I think Ed Sheeran's new album is already pitched at something like 45 quid, for instance. So if albums are heading towards that kind of price, £40, surely, if that's going to be the price range of a new vinyl album, surely you can include a polylined sleeve. Or even, if Craft Recordings, these things aren't expensive, these, you could include one of those, could you not? It would fit in there quite well. The Stranglers album, which I've just reviewed, a polyline sleeve could have easily gone alongside the picture inner sleeve. That would work absolutely fine, because I think if you want people to keep doing this, what they don't want to do is buy something. And I know all these memes saying, life has background noise and vinyl has the rumble, but actually people don't want that. They just want the music. They don't want background crackle and pop. They want it to sound great. You spent 30 quid, it's supposed to sound fantastic. And so, yeah, I clean my records so I get a silent sound, but a lot of people don't. They just put records on and put them away. As you could see in some of those examples, the paper sleeve doesn't quite fit properly even in the album, so it ends up being biffed. And each time you take the record out, the fit is so tight that bits of the paper are ending up in the grooves. So I think for the record business, as you release things, and bands, when you talk to your labels, because I know the bands, you don't press the records, it's not your fault. But I think a polyline inner sleeve, I know you can buy them from Spin Care and Covers 33, but why should you have to then, you buy a record for nearly 35, 40 quid, and now I've got to buy an inner sleeve to protect my record? Surely that should be included for that amount of money. Because the record is a luxury item. Buying a vinyl album is buying the luxury version. It's the hardback book, if you want to look at the CDs being the paperback. And you know what I feel about the fact the CD should be treated with respect as well. So keep giving us the booklets, okay? Because we are multi-format people here. But I do think for the vinyl thing, you press it on 180 gram vinyl. You say it's been, meticulously put together. Meticulously put together. Got it. And the cover, if you respected the original artwork and the print and the card, then you just put a cheap piece of paper, white paper sleeve to put the record in. It seems a bit bonkers to me. So all of these things, and in fact you can stick it in there as part of your blurb, includes a polylined inner sleeve, or includes an anti-static archival inner sleeve included in the record. That would be a tick. That would make people think that adds value. That luxury item. Gatefold sleeve, 180 gram, anti-static archival inner sleeve, plus the inner bag with the photos on, as was the original, as with the new album, whatever. And I think you've got it sussed. Because you shouldn't expect people to have to wash their records all the time. And I know some people say if you wash them they sound better, but let's think about that. When I was buying them, a few decades ago. You just put them on, you play them, they sound great. So that's my chat today. So I would be very interested to know what you as music consumers, those of you that buy vinyl records, what do you think? Would you prefer to have an archival anti-static sleeve or a polylined sleeve? I know you know what they look like, but just in case. Polylined sleeve rather than these harsh, and they are harsh inner paper sleeves where the record literally won't come out. So let me know in the comments, send me an email, talk to me on social media, and I'll compile all of your notes and comments and send them off to the powers that be. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for supporting Now Spinning Magazine. Welcome to those of you who started to listen on the podcast and on the YouTube channel, on the website and on social media. It's been fantastic. Remember, stay safe. Music is the healer, and I shall talk to you very, very soon.